Hi, I'm Chandrasekhar LSP. I am a senior evangelist at Zoho, and I am elated to announce the launch of Zoho BI and Analytics platform today.
This is a major update that is coming out after 2 years of extensive R&D. It is packed with many updates. However, to keep things tight, I will focus on three areas again. The first one is around augmented data prep. The second one will be on the updates to the augmented analytics capabilities. And the third one is around data stories. Again, these 3 points or these three features I want to highlight only because it kind of adds to our analytics for all vision. It is common knowledge, like 70 to 80% of time spent in any BI project is to prepare the data for analysis. While the data prep capabilities have been a part of our BI stack, we have given it a significant upgrade, augmenting it with AI and ML capabilities. Apart from being tightly integrated with Zoho Analytics platform, the upgrade is so substantial that we have also decided to launch it as a standalone data prep service. We have the ERP data for analysis. I want to first prepare the data. And to do that, I have to integrate the data and do any transformations that I want and take it for analysis. And to do that, I come into Zoho Data Prep, and this is the Data Prep Studio UI. And the projects are organized into what we call workspaces, similar to Zoho Analytics. Click on Create Workspace, and just wanted to show you the data integration capabilities here. You can bring data from files, URLs, databases, cloud data sources, and whatnot. In the interest of time, once again, I have brought in the data from Amazon RDS. And you will observe that there are two tables that I've brought in for data preparation, the items and the item reviews. I know that these two tables require work, so that's the reason I bring it in here. I'll start off with the items table. The minute I get in, it gives me a lot of visual cues. First, it has automatically identified the data types of each of the column. Second, it's giving me the distribution of values in each of the columns. And should any column have any data quality issues, it is highlighting that because you can see the red line out here is indicating that there are issues. So obviously I need to fix it, but before that I also want to point your attention to the report here. It tells me or gives me the summary about the data quality. Overall, 98% I would say is good quality data. However, the price column requires work, so let's go and fix it. To do that, I select the columns that have the values that have issues, and I'm going to right click on it and select the replace operation, where I'm going to replace the USDD USD with the dollar notation. So I'm going to say apply the regex, and anywhere you see USDD or USD or US, replace it with the dollar sign. And you will observe, even as I'm doing it, you have a preview of what the operation will do to the data. I'm happy with that. I'm going to take it, I'm going to apply this and wait. So the operation has been done. The filter values have been fixed. So I'm going to remove the filter, and you will see the data quality now says it's at 100%. I'm happy with it. That said, I have a few other enrichment or data enrichment operations that I want to do. For example, this table does not have the brand name. So while it does not have the brand name, it has the brand name embedded within the item name column. So I'm going to extract the brand names from within the square braces. To do that, I right click and select the extract operation. Say anything between the square braces, do not include the braces. Take it out, and just like that, I now have the brand values extracted from the item name. I'm going to rename this column and call it brand. Apply this rename transformation. I now want to draw your attention to this Q code. As you can observe, there are some duplicates, so I want to remove them. I select the column, apply the deduplicate transformation across all the rows in the data set, and I'm going to say remove the duplicates. So we've taken the data to multiple steps here. So we have removed the bad quality data, applied some transformations, and there's one more transformation that I want to apply. So on the brand itself, I want to ensure that the data is consistent in the sense that the brand names have not been spelled inconsistently. That's something that I'm picky about, so I want to take care of that. To do that, I select the column and apply the cluster and merge operation on the data set. So the system is giving me the suggestions. I may accept some, I may not accept some. So let's go through the suggestions here. So the RE270K, I'm not happy with the suggestion, but for Samsung, I want to take the suggestions. Same thing for SanDisk. I want to take the suggestion. I'll go through, and then as a user, I have the choice to pick and choose the suggestions that the system is giving me. I'm going to take this now. I'm going to apply. So one more step for data enrichment. I'm now a happy man. I want to go now to the item reviews table and see if there are any transformations or preparation steps that I want to do. Simple table, users who have given the reviews, the item ID with which the review is associated, and the review text. Useful, but for analysis, it'll be better if I can actually associate the sentiment with the reviews. So to do that, I right click on the text and do sentiment analysis, and it's going to generate a new column. I'm going to make this column, or call this column sentiment. At this point, the sentiment is being analyzed, and you will now have a new column called sentiment that's going to show you the values, if it's positive or negative. Good enough. Now I want to go to the next step of combining the data. So since item is the master table, I'll go in here and say apply a transform for me, which is to combine the items table with the item reviews table. Again, the reason I'm doing this is because this will lend itself for better analysis if I'm going to normalize and have everything in a single table. Even from a performance standpoint, it's going to be useful. I'm going to call this table item reviews. I'm going to map it on the item ID column between the two tables. And just like that, a new table is going to be created. So a new table has been created. It's giving me the preview of the table. I like it, but I want to go back to the items table and show some important feature that we have in the offering, which is all the transformation that a user applies on the data is stored, and it's templated, and it's organized into what we call a rule set. This rule set can be applied the next time we bring in data from the RDS system. So it helps in automation and setting up workflows for automation. Now let's go back to the ERP workspace. We now have three data tables. One is the items, the item reviews that we got from ERP. Then we created a new table, the item reviews GTG. So I'm going to catalog this and say this is ready for use. And I am going to export this to Zoho Analytics to start analyzing the data. And to do that, I have export now and schedule export. I want to go through the schedule export option. Create a new schedule, export it every day at 12 a.m. in the morning. And again, as to where I can export this, I have options. I can export it to Zoho Analytics, or I can take it to cloud databases or cloud storage if I want to. But again, I just wanted to show you the capability from an export standpoint. The data has already been exported into Zoho Analytics. So now I'm going to leave the Data Prep Studio, go into Zoho Analytics again, and look at the 5.0 feature functionalities. We have now integrated the ERP data with Zoho Analytics. To analyze the data, I have to create reports and charts. And to do that, I'm going to use Ask Zia. Because this is a conversational mode, I'm going to use voice to interact with the data to create those reports and charts. Show me sales by items. It shows me this graph. I want to show you or bring your attention to the fact that the data on the x-axis is from the ERP system. The data on the y-axis is from the Salesforce system. So the unified business analytics is at play behind the scene. Let's interact with Zia further. get me the top 10. So what it does is it keeps the context of the previous question and responds incrementally as you interact with it. So this is the conversational capability that we're talking about. Let's interact a little bit more. I want to bring out some other augmented analytics capability that we have added specifically around forecasting. Show me orders by month. Forecast for the next 6 months. These are some of the additional augmented analytics capability that we have added, where we have capabilities around forecasting, trend line, and the ability for the users to change the algorithms associated for trend line and forecasts and whatnot. So this was around the NLQ capability, where we looked at Ask Zia search capability, Ask Zia conversational capability. So now let's look at the other big announcement of 5.0. So here you're looking at the marketing dashboard. Like any other dashboard, this is information from the Sales IQ, which is the marketing system that FindPick is using. And I want to look at this visit by location and source map. And here I have this option called Zia Insights. Now, Zia Insights is NLG capability that we have added in 5.0. Now, all things NLQ and NLG are homegrown, and it's an internal R&D initiative at Zoho. So what does this capability give? What does NLG capability give to Zoho Analytics? It explains what's happening in a graph. Now, while it's not about stating the obvious, there are some interesting insights in this particular graph. For example, looking at this graph, there is no way for me to understand which is the biggest source of traffic in my website. So here it tells me the direct source is the biggest contributor. This insight here can help me to take an action on how much I want to spend on network ads. And it also tells me the top 3 states contribute to over a quarter of all the traffic. So what do I need to do to create reach in the other states in the country? So these are some of the insights that can help me. While it won't bubble up automatically, the NLG capability can draw the attention and bring this to the notice of the user. Otherwise, I'll have to take a paper and pen, jot things down and figure out what's going on. So this is a capability. This is, again, pushing the boundaries so that we can drive adoption and make people more data driven. Again, associating, I have to kind of talk about analytics for all vision, and I'm connecting it there with that. So this is the capability as far as augmented analytics are concerned. So Ask Zia conversation, NLG capability. With Zia Insights, we have augmented data preparation capability that we have added. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was around data stories. While we now have the ability to share the reports and dashboards by creating users or inviting users to the platform to access them, and we also have the ability to embed them into third-party applications. From a data stories perspective, what we have done in 5.0 is we have integrated Zoho Show, the presentation software, as a part of the BI platform. And we have also integrated the website builder, Zoho Sites, into the platform. This, we believe, will push the boundaries of consumption, because by and large, most of these reports and dashboards are either embedded into presentations or made available on applications, third-party applications or intranet sites and whatnot. But to make it easier, we thought these two products, or the integration of these two capabilities inside the platform, will benefit our customers. So what does it look like? So this is the marketing team meeting 2020 performance review presentation that was created in Zoho Show. And what I've done as a part of this presentation, while I have a narration going on and the bullet points that I want to highlight, on the right-hand side, I have a chart that is embedded. And this chart, interestingly enough, is dynamic, meaning this is interactive. You can interact in live mode when you're presenting this particular slide. You can drill down and look at the leads that are generating the revenue in the month of September 2020. So it gives you that ability, the edge, to interact with data and make conversations more interesting when you're meeting your team and whatnot. So this is the regional traffic insights. We saw this map earlier, this chart earlier. When you embed these charts, we also embed the ZIA Insights capability. So over and above the narration that the user wants to put out there, you can also get the insights directly from Zoho Analytics. And we also will have the ability to embed the conversational interface into a presentation so people can interact with the data in live mode as they are in a meeting and whatnot. So again, pushing the boundaries of adoption so that people can use data and take decisions based on data. So this is one aspect of data stories. We talked about Zoho Show. The other aspect is Zoho Sites, where we will help our customers to organize the reports and dashboards in a nice looking website and make it available like what you see here. So here I have all the dashboards organized into different pages. I have the executive dashboard on the home page. I have the CX overview dashboard. So clearly the idea is make it easy for the end user to consume the data and not have to deal with the friction of users not wanting to learn platforms and signing into multiple applications to get to insights. So with this, we come to the end of the review.
Thank you and have a lovely day.